Give me a second. Chelsea, 7, 8 players. I need to see that comes up. By the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, a name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. And I'm going to react to. Hang on. I don't know if this is it, but I hope he mentions it. If he doesn't, then I'm just going to have to find somewhere else. But let me know what your thoughts are. Yeah, man. I'm gonna hit the subscribe button, hit the notification. I'm gonna let you know what the 7 to 8 players that Chelsea should sell. I'm hoping that Fabrizio Romano explains why, and yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's go. If he doesn't, now I can just do something else to make it seem more appropriate. Oh my.
The deal is done. It's a here we go. It's a deal done for 22 million euros. This is the transfer fee agreed. Players like Kepa and many others. So Chelsea will try to sell. But we had many stories in the recent weeks on Pogba going back to Man United. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today, guys.
By the way, if you are a football fan or a sports fan, hit the subscribe button. If you're a Chelsea fan, hit the subscribe button, especially if you're a Chelsea fan. Yeah, because then we can actually generally talk about this properly. Like, who should Chelsea be signing? Well, who should they sell? Rather, the 7 to 8 players. Let me know in the comment section below who are the 7 to 8 players that if you were the Chelsea owner or the sporting directors or the manager, it's usually obviously the sporting directors that make the decisions, but then obviously the person that gives the green light, as we now know, is the head coach Bahali. Don't know how to pronounce his name correctly, but he obviously gives the green light, right? Anyway, so I'm saying all that to say this. When it comes down to the fact of players, we have to understand, do they fit into the Chelsea project? You know what I mean? Like the Chelsea project, or you know what I mean? What is the Chelsea project, by the way? Leave an answer in the comment section below. That might be a topic for another day. But yeah, man. Look, at the end of the day, it's not an easy thing to yes, it's not an easy thing. This is not like look, I'll be honest with you, it's not easy to run a club. It's not. It's just not. Let's keep moving on.
It's a breaking news, exclusive update on Dario Sugo, new midfielder for Chelsea, immediately joining the club soon, but also more to say on João Felix, Chelsea sales, Jadon Sancho, what happens, something to add on Paul Pogba. Let's jump into it together. And so guys, let me start today's video by mentioning the story of the day, because after I was telling you here an exclusive update this week on Giovanni Kenda, done deal from Sporting to Chelsea, summer 2026, so he will join the club in 1 year, not the next season, but from season 26-27, from Sporting to Chelsea, one more...
I hear it, but Chelsea, you might as well now own Sporting CF. Just own them. Do you know what I mean? At least that. What's the point? What's the point in signing a football player, yeah, and then they stay on loan, or they go on loan at the club that they were originally signed to, or not originally, but depending on who they are. But you know what I mean? What's the point? I understand the vision of the future, because sometimes you don't necessarily predict the future, but obviously you can speculate, and which obviously if it's true data analysis that they're going on, then they really need to get a particular striker. There's only one striker that, in regard to stats, there's one striker who would fit that, especially knowing how the Premier League is and such, because it's a physical and it's very the speed of the Premier League as well. It's physical. The speed. There's a lot going on. There's only one type of striker out there that Chelsea can really afford to get. You know what I mean? If I'm not just afford, but there's only one striker that comes to mind. And at first, I'm like, yeah, Victor Gyökeres. I don't think he. I think if he comes to the Premier League, whether it will be for Arsenal, Man United, you know what I mean, or even West Ham or Newcastle, who knows? I don't think he will be as prolific. No disrespect, and I could be completely wrong. You know what I mean? I don't think he'll be as prolific. You know what I mean? But maybe I need to see more of his game to be able to realize. You know what I mean? But the person they're going to mention it, let's see if Fabrizio Romano mentions the person I'm thinking.
Player, and this is a player I was mentioning to you after the January window, because you remember that Chelsea wanted a midfielder in January. They were considering Dario Esugo on loan to Las Palmas from Sporting. Then they signed Matissa Mugu, and they trust Matissa Mugu. He's a player who is part of the first team, and then he will go on loan to Strasbourg in the summer transfer window.
AKA D-Mac, you know.
For a Mugu who is going to be part of Chelsea squad for the future, not next season, but next season will be part of Chelsea squad first team.
Watch what's going to happen. Obviously, Santos is going to come back to Chelsea, and then D-Mac is going to go. He's going to be sold to Strasbourg. Like, I reckon he would do so well to the point where it would only make sense for him to be sold to Strasbourg and be a permanent transfer. Because look, in midfield, who else is there other than obviously Romeo Lavia? Then you got Ledley Ugochukwu, who's basically, he's one of the 8 players that are definitely going to get sold. Definitely. I do not see, I want him to stay at the club. Yeah, I really do. But do you know what I mean? I just don't see him staying at the club. I just don't see it. Like, I would like him to stay, like I said, but I just don't see it happening. And it's sad, really, when you think about the context of particular situations with certain players. But you got to keep it real. As much as Chelsea is a people's game, it's the working class game. The reality always is going to be, it is also a business at the end of the day. Whether you like to know that or not, that's just a fact. That's just how it is. But with that said, for a business to be run efficiently, there needs to be something sustainable. So whether buying players and selling players is sustainable in the long term for Chelsea Football Club, who knows? But I do think it kind of is a good strategy. Hear me out. I do think it is a very good strategy to buy young talent. Yeah. Like, when I say buy young talent, I'm literally saying buy young talent from early, develop them, give them 1 or 2 years. Yeah, I'm saying 1 or 2 years to deliver. If they can't fit into the first team, cool. What will happen? Go on loan. If they can prove themselves, then come back. And if they can prove themselves again, cool. They can they will fight their way into the first team. If not, then they get sold. That's how it should be done, if I'm honest. Because look, some players can come to a big club, yeah, and you would think that they would do well, but they don't do well. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes certain players are only better for certain clubs, and it makes it seem like it. I don't have to explain it. There's just some players like that.
Dario Esugo. The deal is done. It's a here we go. It's a deal done for 22 million euros. This is the transfer fee agreed between Chelsea and Sporting. Today there was the final meeting and everything was agreed between clubs. Everything is agreed with the player. 7-year contract, same as Giovanni Kenda, with 1-year option. The difference is that Kenda joins next year, 2026, and Dario Esugo.
I know that the whole aim is what players are going to be sold, 7 to 8 players, but bear with me, all right? I wanted him to get to the point. Yeah,
joins the club immediately in the summer. So in July he will be ready to be part of Chelsea squad. Everything is ready between June and July, of course. Then they will decide the timing. Everything is ready in terms of documents because the player did his medical tonight. So Dario Esugo completed every single step of his move. So Chelsea have already invested 48 million euros for Giovanni Kenda plus taxes, so up to 51, but it's 48 million euros as a transfer fee. And 22 million euros for Dario Esugo, so 70 million euros. Esugo will be
Okay, I'm just thinking, you're spending that much on the youth. You must have so much hope in that youth. You know what I'm saying? You must have so much hope. But hey, listen, whatever works, isn't it? That's just how it goes sometimes. Anyway.
Will be part of the first team. Chelsea see him as a really talented player. They've been monitoring him for more than 2 years. They consider Sugo one of the best talents in his position, midfielder, but he's a player who can run, a player who can win the ball. He's a fighter, big physical structure, so he can be the perfect cover for Moises Caicedo next season. He will be with the first team. He doesn't.
See, that's it. That's what I was trying to figure out. That's what I want to figure out. Because the time when Chelsea were dominating in the Premier League and obviously fighting for Champions League titles and stuff like that, we had fight for many other trophies. We had Claude Makelele, and then obviously after Claude Makelele there was John Obi Mikel. But after, and even during John Obi Mikel's time, there's also Michael Essien as well. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And even like Ramirez is an interesting one, yeah, but I don't think he gets talked often enough as a defensive midfielder, because he's more of a central attacking midfielder, but he also can play as a central defensive midfielder. Like, he's so cold. If you know, right? So I was thinking about it, yeah. In fact, you know what? Let me see if I'm right. Let me see something. I need to double check. I'm pretty sure he used to. Let me see. Let me see. What is Ramirez, or what was Ramirez for Chelsea? That's his best position he played. Let's see. Yeah, it was a box-to-box midfielder. Hold on. As a CDM. Yeah. I was right. Because like I was thinking to myself, because he will score some bangers when he wants. It's like Moises Caicedo. When he's ready to score bangers, he will score bangers, bruv. That goal against Manchester United, if you know, that goal against was it against Manchester United they scored? I remember. But there was another goal that he scored on the last day of the season last year. Worthy of goal of the season. I'm pretty sure it was announced as the goal of the season. I'm pretty sure it was. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, let's keep moving. Let's go.
Impact the situation with Andrei Santos, who will return to Chelsea from Strasbourg and be part of the first team. So Andrei Santos will be part of the midfield, Dario Sugo will be part of the midfield, and then Enzo, Moises Caicedo, Romeo Lavia. So Chelsea have very clear ideas. Amogu will go to Strasbourg, and Andrei Santos will not have any impact after this news of Dario Sugo, also because they're very different. Andrei Santos is a quality player, is an offensive player. Dario Sugo is a fighter in the midfield and a player who can be really important for present and future. So Kenda done, Dario Sugo done, and guys, this is explaining to you why every time you ask me when the summer transfer window is starting, is the 1st of July, the 1st of June, the 1st of August, it doesn't matter, guys. The market is always open, and as you can see, it's March.
Hey, all Fabrizio had to say was, it doesn't matter, guys. The market is always open if you're Chelsea Football Club. That's what you should say. Because I promise you, I don't see no other news around after the transfer window is closed where deals are being made. That Christopher Nkunku deal was made before the transfer window was open. I hope you know that, right? Which makes me think, why Christopher Nkunku moving this way? But I don't even think his mind is out of the game, out of Chelsea anymore. I just feel like he's mentally exhausted. Like most of the players, I think they need this break. Like, I feel like this international break, I feel like he's just mentally exhausted. Because when you're just trying and it's like it's not enough. You hear me? It's just not enough. And you can argue and say, yeah, but what's his favorite position? Is the manager playing him in his favorite position? Do you know what I mean? You can argue all of those facts, like, but at the same time, listen, if you're a footballer, you want to play. So if you want to play, like, I know it sounds crazy and it's good to play players in their best position, but if you want to play, you try your best to play in that that position that the manager says to play in. And if you do good, you do good. If you do bad, and you say, look, coach, you're gonna have to teach me how to play in a position better so I can do better. Otherwise, please don't put me in a position. We got so and so who is best in that position. Please put them there, and please put me in my favorite position, and then I can show you how I can excel and help the team and that help us achieve our goals. That's how it should be. I wonder if the players even talk to the manager like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not disrespectful. It's in a respectful manner. It's in a professional manner. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let's keep moving.
And Chelsea have signed two players, two important players. It's not just two youngsters for the future. These two are big players. Giovanni Kenda was wanted by Man United and Bayern. Dario Sugo was wanted by several clubs and will be part of the first team. So Sugo to Chelsea is a done deal, and it's the story of the day. After I told you yesterday that they were in advanced negotiations, now everything has been completed. For Chelsea, something important to explain is that Chelsea will now work hard on sales in order to obviously have everything in place for the financial fair play rules and also for sustainability, something really important for Chelsea. So remember,
like I said before, sustainability, right? And I like how he mentioned PSR. So these are the reasons why, and that or financial fair play, these are the reasons why Chelsea are trying to make these sales. But the question then becomes, why are you buying these players? Do you know what I mean? What is the real purpose? I genuinely think what Chelsea need to do now, like the owners, like I've accepted it. These are the new owners, and as much as I may disagree with some of their tactics in the way that they do business and the way that they're running this club, I have to just accept it for what it is and just take things at face value. And then whatever's to come from it is to come from it, innit? Like, because there's literally nothing I can really do. What am I gonna just be ranting on YouTube and stuff like that, or you know what I mean? Like, go on Twitter as if man is. No, I won't say that. Yeah, I'm gonna say like I'm Kanye. No. I'm not saying that. Forget that. I rebuke that. But nah, for real though, on a real level, I've accepted that these are the new owners, and the owners are going to do whatever they want to do that they feel is best for the club and best for their pockets. It is what it is. So, with that in mind, whether they care about the club or not, who knows? But I do think they care about the club, and here's why. The reason why I say that, because if you think about it, right, they've formed Blue Coal, right? They formed Blue Coal. Blue Coal owns Strasbourg and part of Chelsea Football Club. I say part of Chelsea Football Club because there's different aspects, right? Now, I'm pretty sure they also own Chelsea women as well. And here's the thing: Chelsea women are doing well, and it's great to see that they're doing well, right? And it just got me thinking to myself, hang on, what's missing for the men's squad? All that's missing is certain signings. Chelsea are one or two signings away of experience, by the way, of these type of positions that can really challenge for titles. Because Chelsea, when on paper, we don't have a bad squad, even with the certain players left on loan in January. You know what I mean? And with Mudryk being suspended to further notice, you know what I mean? Like, we generally do have a good squad on paper. Even those who, like, and it goes to, here's the other thing. We have key players, and when those key players are injured or they play with injury, they're not going to play with their best. It's like Enzo Fernandez. There was a time when he was getting, like, listen, when I say people were disrespecting him, I'm like, yo, why? I don't understand. And he still scored a great free kick, I think, that's Aston Villa in the FA Cup, I believe it was, against, yeah. this, and the joke of it is, yeah, imagine like him scoring that free kick. Hear me out. He's scoring that free kick. Not only is he scoring that free kick, but he's playing with an injury, right? People need to realize that players actually genuinely put their lives on the line. Yeah. Look what nearly happened to Mateta, or what happened to Mateta. Like, thankfully he's recovering. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, that's just one prime example. But anyway, let's keep it moving. But at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is we have to deal with reality. And the reality is Chelsea Football Club are where they are. There is a mild improvement. I want to say mild, only because if you look at the other teams around, they've improved as well. But it's weird because it's like you'd think if they've improved, it's like have we improved or have the teams around us got worse? You know what I mean? It's a mix of both, isn't it? But who to say? It's like Nottingham Forest are by far the most improved side in the past 12 months. 18 months, should I say. Let's go.
Remember how many players they have on loan, players like Kepa and many others. So Chelsea will try to sell, according to my information, 7 to 8 players as soon as possible.
There you go. There you go. According to his information, Chelsea are going to sell 7 to 8 players. All right, bear with me. Let's break this down. Who should they sell? I'm gonna need my hand to be able to count. Kepa Arrizabalaga, who I don't think we should sell. We should keep. You know what I mean? We should genuinely keep and sell Sanchez instead. Yeah, that's who I think. Then who else is there? Did Ledley Ukuchuku? Because of how strong the midfield is, he ain't getting first team minutes at Chelsea. He's just not. He's just not. Yeah. Another Ibo brother that is unfortunately gonna be sold, who I believe it's not about who I want sold, it's also who I believe is gonna get sold. So yeah, Kepa's likely to get sold, but because of his wages, it's not more because of his skill set or his experience. It's because of his wages. All right, that's just is what it is. In fact, I don't know that for a fact, but come on. And then we have the situation. Who else is there? So yeah, Carney Chukwuemeka, definitely getting sold. Definitely getting sold. Who else is there? I'm conflicted on whether I want Disasi to be sold or not. I'm very conflicted. Very, very conflicted. I did want Badiashile to get sold, but now I'm starting to realize we need high in defense, and he actually can come good. I can't even lie to you. When he's on his day, he's a cold defender on his day. So is Disasi as well. So that's very conflicting. So I'd rather keep them. I'll be honest. So I just don't want him to be. I just don't want Disasi to be played as a right back. That's all. As a centre back, cold. As a right back, no. Who else is there? Mudryk, like it or not, I think he should get sold. Who else is there? So that's 4 already, right? And then who else? Who else? Trevor Chalobah, unfortunately, going to get sold. He's unfortunately going to get sold. Jehovah's Son is going to get sold, sadly. And then we got 2 more. Who else to get sold? Let's think. I think there's going to be at least 1 or 2 another academy prospects that are going to get sold. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's pretty much it. But those are the main files. I might have to go to the Chelsea website to really gather enough, like to go through it to really be like, yeah, they get sold or they should get sold. You know what I mean? I literally have to go through the list of players. You know what I mean? Or you know what? Actually, Let me do it here. Let's do it here. Let's do it here real quick. All right. So, the players that I think that's to get sold, yeah? You got Sanchez, he's to get sold. Oh, I just clicked the same, the full squad. But anyway, doesn't matter. Let's see. Chalobah's definitely gonna get sold, like I said. Who else? Drewsby Hall's gonna get sold. That's who I was thinking of. As well. Excuse me. Who else? Mudryk definitely gonna get sold. Christopher Nkunku, I don't want him to be sold, but it's more than likely he will get sold. More than likely. That can't be all the squad, bruv. But I did mention Carney Chukwuemeka, and I did mention who else? The other two. There was another person, and Kepa Arrizabalaga. Like those are the ones that I definitely feel are going to get sold. And the thing about these players is, it's not like they're bad players either. But anyway, let's go.
Possible to make some money, to get new funds, and then reinvest on a striker. The striker position will be crucial. Striker and winger will be two really important positions for Chelsea in the.
Slow down. I know we're Mandem FC, but let's not turn into Wing FC. Give me the Wing FC. If you know, you know. Mandem, Wing, the Wing. If you know, you know. Get me. Anyway, listen, all jokes aside, though, I don't think it's magic, because it's like, if you look at the way Chelsea play and the way that Maresca plays, yes, we need wingers, but I just feel like with Jadon Sancho on the wing, Tyreek George, Pedro Neto, you know what I mean, and if Mudryk does manage to come back and able to stay, like, I reckon those wingers will come good. You know what I mean? They can generally come good. That's just my thoughts. Let's go.
In the summer, but especially the striker. There is the focus, and Chelsea will invest on a new striker in the.
Hear me out. Why can't I just buy a striker now and then sell the players straight after? Do you know what I mean? Like, can he not do that? Because I feel like with all the strikers they have here, not all the strikers, with all the players that Chelsea currently have, I feel like it's like, I don't know how to explain it. Chelsea are in a really, really, really strange position. Like, they're in a strange position because their youth. It's like they need experience, but the players that they have together right now are gathering experience together. Do you get it? And because they're gathering experiences together, it's now becomes a thing where all they need is a leader in every position, basically. So for the striker, they need a leader. There's one. If they're talking about a striker, the striker, like I said, it has to be Victor Osimhen, 100%. No other player than Victor Osimhen. And I think I think we need two strikers, two strikers, two. Victor Osimhen is one, and I believe, you know what I mean. And this is where now I could be like, you know what, Victor Osimhen and Liam Delap. I'll be happy with that. Hear me out. I know at first you're probably thinking, why Liam Delap? The reason why is because of the African Cup of Nations. At least Liam Delap, God willing, if he's fit, if he's not injured, he is able to play. You understand? And I know you're probably thinking, oh, but then why is the African Cup of Nations played in? Well, you got right now is the international break, right? That's in the middle of the season, right? I rest my case, so relax. Yeah, man. I'm just thinking, like, how do I what's the word I'm looking for? How do I focus on knowing the players that need to be sold to be able to afford these players, to afford a striker. That's how I know Christopher Nkunku is 100% getting sold. 100%. Because the money raised from that sale covers what? 60% of the purchase for, I say purchase, sounds crazy saying that. Like it basically covers 60% to buy Victor Osimhen. I'm saying 60% because you also got to think about the wage structure and all that stuff there, and the bonuses and all that stuff there. There's other things to literally think about. And it's most important that we need to qualify for the Champions League, because that will also help with getting shirt sponsors. And with that shirt sponsor, we're able to also invest into buying a striker. Simple. It's not so simple if you don't understand business. You know what I mean? But if you understand business, then you understand exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't understand business, then you're not going to understand what I'm talking about. Because you're probably just thinking I'm just waffling. You know what I mean? That's fine. But anyway, let's keep moving. But yeah, man, let's go.
The summer. They signed the Kenda for the future, they signed the Sugo for the present, but the striker will be crucial, and selling player will be the next step. One of the players we have to monitor in the upcoming weeks and months is Joao Felix. Because as we were telling you, here on my channel you can find another video in Italian from Matteo Moretto. We worked together on all the stories, and Matteo was telling you about that. We can confirm that at the moment the clear indication from AC Milan is not to proceed in negotiation with Chelsea to buy Joao Felix.
Yeah.
Then we have
No, because do you know what? No. I don't think Chelsea should sell Felix. Not now anyway. Not in the summer. Like, at least let him establish himself enough to be like, whether he should, you know what I mean? Like, let him establish himself. Like, he needs to find, like, I reckon he can generally come good. Because that link-up play, I know it was only glimpse here, but the glimpse of the link-up play between Pedro Neto and Joao Felix, do you know what I mean? That link-up play is different levels. And come World Cup, if Joao Felix gets selected for the World Cup, if Portugal qualify, which I believe they will qualify, you know, like, you're gonna see that connection. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna see it. Like, I just don't understand certain things. Like I said, I blame the agent, but at the end of the day, if the agent wants to make money, it's their life, isn't it?
we have to wait on two things: the new director and the new manager. We have to see who's going to be the new director at Milan, who's going to be the new manager at Milan, because we don't expect Sergio Conceição to continue at the club, and so we will see what they will decide on Joao Felix. But as of today, the decision internally at the club is not to proceed in negotiations with Chelsea for Joao Felix. So what Chelsea do? What Chelsea will decide to do with Joao Felix? Keep the player at the club, let him go on loan again, sell the player, we will see. But sales will be really important for Chelsea. André Santos is not part of the conversation. As of now, Chelsea are very convinced they want André Santos as part of the squad next season, but still 7 to 8 players leaving the club. Remember about Disasi, remember about Kepa, and all the others. So Chelsea prepared to sell players and to bring in an important striker in the summer. So we will follow also that situation. Many questions on Sancho, guys, and we can confirm the reports we had in the recent days. It's true that Chelsea can pay a fee to Manchester United and not proceed with the obligation to buy for Jadon Sancho. Is the reality. But this is not the intention. From day one, Chelsea signed Jadon Sancho from United on loan with an obligation to buy because they want to keep Sancho, and Sancho wants to be at Chelsea. So that's the idea and that's the view. And obviously, Man United don't want Sancho back. So that's the clear indication on Jadon Sancho. Then we will.
Thank you, Fabrizio, for that confirmation. Because do you know what's interesting? It's the fact that they tried to put this story out there that, oh, Jadon Sancho was not wanted at Chelsea, this, that, and the third. But it's clear that Enzo Maresca, he's still wanted by the owners, he's still wanted by the sporting directors, and he's appreciated by the players. This is why I believe Chelsea will end up becoming like doing generally good, yeah, or not even good, great, because of how the players appreciate the manager. they're going to eventually want to show that on the field. Like, it's just very unfortunate that they've had a poor run of form. It's very unfortunate. But, you know, that's just football. Sometimes that happens, right? Like, even Mourinho's gone through it sometimes, even at Chelsea, where he had a run of poor spells. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. That's just football. That's life. And they end up, you know, winning stuff. So anyway, as I was saying, it's just good that to know the information that Jadon Sancho is wanted at Chelsea, and he's in the Chelsea are literally in the position where they have an option where if they wanted to, you know what I mean? But they don't want to, never was that the idea. It just happens to be part of the deal structure. That's just business. There's clauses in contracts to protect themselves, if that makes sense. That's just business. Like, I don't think some people understand how business works. You get me? I'm not saying I'm the most business savvy person, but I do understand some aspects of business. Because, by the way, I did study business at some point in my life. You know what I mean? Maybe small things that I've learned, but you know what I'm saying? I learned something. You know what I mean? Let's go. And then obviously I can see things from a different point of view as well.
We will see what happens at the end of the season. Chelsea have the possibility to pay a fee and send Jadon Sancho back to Man United. But it's up to the club, and at the moment, really, Chelsea are not activating any contact to send Sancho back. So that's the situation as of today. It's true that there is this possibility, but that's not part of the plan as of now. Obviously, we will follow all these situations, contracts, buy options, and all the rest in the upcoming weeks and months. Then, guys, I wanted to complete this video telling something on Paul Pogba. I keep receiving many questions from Manchester United fans on Paul Pogba because Pogba is back. Pogba can play football for any club now. The ban is over, so Pogba can train and can play whenever he wants. He's available on the market as a free agent, but we had many stories in the recent weeks on Pogba going back to Man United. Guys, my information as of today is there is nothing. I have nothing to say on this because many Man United fans keep texting me about Pogba, but I'm not aware of it.
Back, even if they wanted to. With what Jim Ratcliffe, or is it Jim? With what he said about the club, they could have went I can't remember the words he said, but it made me appreciate. This is what made me appreciate Chelsea Football Club new owners. It made me appreciate what they're doing at the club, yeah, because you know what it is like. Finance, to be able to run a big club, you have to make sure it is sustainable. Yeah, you can go after, you can sign players, and their wages could be excessive amounts, and they may be well worth it. But in the end, for example, Barcelona are a prime example. Messi was worth it, and he came from the academy anyway. However, the reality is, you know what I mean? Like, they literally couldn't afford him to the point where, like, that's why I don't know how to explain it. Let's just keep moving on. Let's go on.
Negotiations Pogba United, and I'm not aware of anything concrete. In case it changes and tomorrow morning Pogba goes to United, I will let you know, and I will come here and I will tell you all the updates. But as of today, I'm not aware of anything concrete on this. And also, Man United are going on a different direction. Man United are going in the direction of talented players, young players, investing on players like Dorgu, Heidenhaven. So these are the investments wanted by Man United. Then, in case it changes, I will let you know. Pogba is free agent, so in 5 minutes he can sign any contract. You don't have to negotiate with the club. It's just an easy story, but at the moment I'm not aware of anything with Man United. I'm only aware of Paul Pogba available on the market, free agent, and ready to sign with any club whenever he wants. And so, guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories. Darius to go to Chelsea, what's your feeling? Then Jadon Sancho, Joao Felix, the sales, the striker, Paul Pogba, where should he go next? Guys, let me know your opinion here in comments. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.
I shot the Fabrizio Romano.
My mom likes.
Trace, my love is your love, and your love is my love. Trace, I should have reacted to this, to be honest with you. Ruthless, 78 players axed to fund striker move. I should have reacted to that, really. That I'll come back to it. Hear me out. Shout out to Blue Lion TV, aka Nini FC. If you know, you know. Get me, and I'll react to George Benson's one as well. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let's Chelsea. All right, let's see the comments. Chelsea single-handedly keeping Fabrizio in the job. I hear it. Fabrizio tam-tams before GTA. I hear it. Chelsea always keep Fab busy, even outside the transfer window. It will be interesting to see who are the 8 players they will sell just to fund a striker, and who that striker will be. It clearly indicates someone who is worth the money with experience. That's what it like. And look, I'm not just saying that as a Chelsea fan. Like, let's put my football lens on as a neutral, right? It's like, as a neutral, knowing how certain clubs are, if they want a particular player, for example, they will do whatever is necessary to be able to get that player. So if it means they need to be, you know, quote unquote, ruthless to sell certain players to be able to fund that, even though, yeah, they are still buying certain players of certain age groups that, you know what I mean, you could easily save that money and use that money to be able to buy the striker. I mean, that would make more sense. Do you know what I mean? But hey, whatever floats their boat, get me. But anyway,